Welcome into this edition of ACAP Today for the month of June 2025. I'm Jason Parent with the Aroostook County Action Program. On this edition, a very special edition of ACAP Today, we're going to take you to the ceremony for the launch of ACAP's new mobile service unit held in May in the town of Van Buren. We're going to take you to those festivities where you can hear firsthand from the presenters and speakers, both from ACAP and from the town of Van Buren, about why this new mobile service unit is going to change the way we are able to deliver services to the people of Aroostook County, especially the most rural and remote communities here in our county. But before we get to all that, we're first going to get to the news and information that you can use, again, for this, the month of June 2025. And we begin with this. Aroostook County's new county community health needs assessment. The community health needs assessment was released as part of the main shared community health needs assessment just late last month. Now, the Aroostook community health needs assessment looks at priorities for the first time, both in terms of health and social determinants of health. It was conducted collaboratively using the efforts of Maine's healthcare systems, all of Maine's 10 community action agencies, including ACAP, and of course the Maine CDC. What you're seeing here on the screen is a snapshot from the needs that were expressed by those who took the survey, participated in focus groups, and otherwise provided feedback and incorporated data from the Aroostook County set. Now, we looked at things like transportation, housing, provider availability, as you can see there, but also areas such as nutrition, mental health, obesity, and weight status. Those are all in the top 9 items that you see there as ranked by residents of Aroostook County and what the data indicates here in our region. Now, there are similar assessments that were done for every county in the state of Maine and the overall assessment. For more information or to see the latest community needs assessment for Aroostook County, go on over to acap-me.org and check out the results of the community health needs assessment. Again, we thank our partners for making this possible. Now, what happens now from this community health needs assessment is ACAP and other organizations use this information to do things like strategic planning. So here at ACAP, we'll be building our next 5-year strategic plan based upon what we see as a result of the community needs assessment to truly reflect and respond to the needs of our Aroostook County community. We move on now to what we're going to be sharing with you in this special edition of ACAP today, and that is our mobile service unit, which was launched in May, and which you'll be seeing that ceremony in just a minute. It continues on its trajectory throughout the month of June. You're seeing here on your screen where the mobile service unit will be throughout the month of June, starting in Ashland and working all the way down to Smyrna Mills in southern Aroostook. We'll be stopping at a special event at the Presque Isle Fire Department, an open house there on Saturday, June 7th, and then continuing our trajectory down south to the southern part of Aroostook County. We're looking forward to connecting with all of our friends in central, especially western Aroostook County, and then down into southern Aroostook County in the coming month. We had a great month in May up in the St. John Valley and into the Route 11 corridor, and looking forward to a very exciting month of June to come with the mobile service unit. If you're in one of those communities, please check it out and say hello to our team on board. We are also very pleased and proud to announce something that we have talked about here on ACAP today in the past, and that is ACAP's new partnership with the Easton Community School and the town of Easton. Now, this is a special childcare program that creates the very first of its kind here in Aroostook County, and one of only 2 starting up here in Maine this year, called a community school, where we're actually able to provide on-site childcare for children as young as 6 weeks old and school-age children up to 12 years old. Now, this will have a comprehensive partnership with ACAP's Head Start and Early Head Start programs. Healthy meals and snacks will be provided. There are both part-time and full-time openings. And childcare is fee-based by program and by age, so we encourage you to check us out on that. And we also accept various payment types, including subsidy and others that you see there on the screen. Please consider giving us a call at 764-3721. You can go to extension 176 to get more information on enrollment in the Easton program or in any of our other early care and education programs across Aroostook County. Again, this is a very special first of its kind here in Aroostook County, right in the public school, the Easton Elementary School. This is the first community school in Aroostook County, and we're very pleased to be bringing it to the town of Easton beginning later this summer. So please do, if you're in Easton, call now about enrollment opportunities or visit us at acap-me.org. The Early Care and Education section has the online application for early care and education programs right there. Now, transitioning over to our housing team is currently seeking skilled contractors to work on completing home repair projects across Aroostook County. We do have a limited amount of funding here in Aroostook County to do these projects, and it works in partnership with our team on doing things like well repairs and replacements, heating system repairs, electrical system repairs, roof and chimney work, as well as structural repairs, lead paint mitigation, energy efficiency improvements, and accessibility improvements. You can see on your screen there what the contractor requirements may vary but may include. We certainly are encouraging any contractors in Aroostook County to get added to our list so that we can put folks to work to help especially our vulnerable seniors that are living in precariously housed situations be able to have these vital home repairs done to their homes. BJ Esty is the contact. You see his contact information there on your screen. And if you're a contractor and interested in partnering with us on this, we encourage you to reach out to BJ. Now, our workforce development team and our coaches here at ACAP are reaching out, as the summer months are now upon us, to offer additional career counseling opportunities for youth ages 16 through 24 across Aroostook County. You may be in high school or you may be a college student. This is for opportunities to connect youth directly with training opportunities and learn what employers are looking for. We can provide various levels of support, including assistance with transportation. We can provide job training opportunities that include a stipend, any other financial support that's needed for income eligible households, and help with things like cover letter and resume building. So we're certainly encouraging all youth, or if you know a youth age 16 through 24, consider nudging them about this important program. You can call us at 764-3721 or email us at workforce@acap-me.org. Our community aging in place program, we talked about looking for contractors earlier. Now we're putting the information out there for no cost home safety checks, some minor maintenance repairs, and accessibility modifications. This is for low income residents of Aroostook County that are 55 and up. Examples of the work that our team can complete on this include installing grab bars and handrails, putting in shower seats, lever door handles that will help, especially people that are suffering from arthritis, kitchen and bathroom faucet changeouts, things of that nature. We can also do some minor repairs about winterization, gutter work, steps, existing ramps, or minor plumbing and electrical work. We'll do some safety checks in the home as well. You see the list there on your screen. If you're in a position where you think that you could benefit from our Community Aging in Place grant, please call us at 764-3721 or email us at info@acap-me.org. Now, support for Aroostook County cancer patients is something that ACAP is able to provide in partnership with the Maine Cancer Foundation through a very generous grant from our friends at the Maine Cancer Foundation. As a result of these funds coming into ACAP in Aroostook County, we're able to provide up to $300 in direct client benefits to Aroostook County residents who are undergoing cancer treatments. This funding may be used for transportation expenses and or household utilities for a cancer patient receiving treatment in Aroostook County in a facility outside the local area. So if you are indeed challenged with a cancer diagnosis at this time, please give us a call at 764-3721 or email us at help@acap-me.org. This is an important program to be able to support some of the most vulnerable individuals in our community as they're going through a very challenging time, and we encourage folks to reach out to us for this assistance. Our homebuyer education classes continue to roll out for 2025. We have a number of them coming up this summer that we encourage you to sign up for. This homebuyer homeworks education class is taught by industry professionals, lenders, home inspectors, and real estate agents. It's in an educational, non-sales oriented environment. Home buyer education classes provide an opportunity to learn about the home buying process in a neutral environment. The course is open to the public and registration is required. Now, our coming classes include one here in June on the 14th. That's a Saturday. There are a couple on Sunday to help work with schedules for individuals who might work on a Saturday. One is Sunday, July 13th. One is Sunday, August 2nd. Now, all of these in June, July, and August are virtual offerings that will be held. You'll be sent the link to participate in the virtual class. On Saturday, September 6th, here at our ACAP Customer Service Center in Presque Isle, we'll be offering an in-class, in-person opportunity for a class, for a homebuyer education class. Really a lot of great benefits for you to participate in this class, including up to $5,000 off of your closing cost if you successfully complete the class and are eligible to participate in that particular part of the program. We encourage you to give us a call, 764-3721, or you can email us at homebuyeredu@acap-me.org to get information on registering for one of these classes. Up next, for parents, we are continuing to offer a wonderful series called the Positive Parenting Program. Triple P is designed to give parents the skills they need to raise confident, healthy children and teenagers and to build stronger family relationships. Triple P is not in the business of telling people how to parent. Rather, it gives parents simple and practical strategies they can adapt to suit their own values, beliefs, and needs. And we certainly encourage you to apply. Megan Willett is doing a fantastic job with this program, and parents are really appreciating the information that's shared and exchanged amongst one another. If you'd like to learn more about this program and participate in this program, please give Megan a call at 764-3721, extension 116, or email her at mwillett@acap-me.org. We are also putting the word out there as we go through the summer months and then head into the fall that we are continuing to look for instructional staff for our early care and education programs in the communities of Caribou, Limestone, Fort Kent, Holton, and Presque Isle. Teachers, teacher aides, ed techs 2 and 3. If you are interested in working with young children, we can work with you to help gain the credentialing to grow with ACAP. We offer a competitive pay, 100% employer paid premium on our basic health insurance plan. We offer dental and vision insurance, of course, retirement, paid holidays and earn time, and tuition reimbursement and opportunities, certainly for career advancement. Give us a call or check us out today at acap-me.org, and you can click on the Join Our Team section of our website there to be connected. Our HR team and our early care and education team would love to hear from you. And lastly, if you or your family needs assistance and are having a difficult time at this particular point and aren't sure quite what is out there and what is available for you, we are encouraging you to give us a call here at ACAP at 764-3721 and talk with us about that. And we have navigators who can help connect you with services, not only here within our agency, but with partner agencies as well. That would be helpful in terms of connecting you with whether it's employment or housing or other benefits, food and wellness, resources in general, and certainly our early care and education and other early care and education programs across Aroostook County. That's 764-3721. You can also email us at info@acap-me.org. And lastly, we usually save this for the end of each edition of ACAP Today, but considering that we're about to take you to Van Buren on the road and share with you the ceremony that was ACAP's launch of our mobile service unit, we wanted to bring you our highlight snapshot before going into that video, that special video presentation this month. Our highlight snapshot comes to us from our Healthy Eating, Active Living program here at Aroostook County, part of ACAP's prevention team. This was a training held in Presque Isle about local foods right here from Aroostook County. We're talking a lot about farm to table and about locally sourcing foods. Well, this group of folks learned why that's so important and how you can make that happen right here in Aroostook County. The training was open to school nutrition staff, as well as farmers, teachers, and directors. What you're seeing here are presenters from ACAP HEAL staff. Renee, our team member who leads that program, is right there front and center in that photo, along with Farm Drop, Future Farmers of America. So we engage public school students, the SNAP Ed program, the local food switchboard, the University of Maine Cooperative Extension, Maine Coast Fishermen's Association, Full Plates, Full Potential, and local regional food coordinators and Maine Ag in the classroom. So a lot of people coming together for a great cause to learn about how we can locally source our foods here in Aroostook County. Just our highlight snapshot for the month of June. And now, without further ado, we're pleased to take you to the ceremony held in Van Buren in May that launched ACAP's mobile service unit. Enjoy this special edition of ACAP Today.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Jason Parent, and I'm the Executive Director, Chief Executive Officer at Aroostook County Action Program. And it's especially a pleasure to welcome you all here today to my hometown. Van Buren is very much proudly so the place where I grew up and was blessed by the many blessings of this community in Van Buren. But this is also a very important day in the 5 decades or more than 5 decades of service of our Community Action Agency to the people of Aroostook County. This is Community Action Month. May, every year, we stop and recognize the work that we do across this country, across the state, and certainly right here in Aroostook County as a Community Action Network. So this is one of the events in celebration of Community Action Month. We have a full month of activity planned, including stops throughout the St. John Valley and down the Route 11 corridor for our mobile service unit. The reason we're here in Van Buren today is not because it's my hometown, but because this is where the concept for the mobile service unit was born. It was members of the Van Buren Resiliency Project, now known as the Rural Resilience Community Alliance, that approached us at ACAP and said, would you be able to open an office in our community? The people of our community could use your services and have more of a visible presence of Aroostook County Action Program. And unfortunately, when you serve a county geographically larger than the states of Rhode Island and Connecticut combined, and the largest geographic county east of the Mississippi River, but with a population of just over 67,000 people, it's impossible to have an office and a presence in every community in Aroostook County on a regular and consistent basis. But we recognize and we understand that transportation is a barrier to individuals and families being able to access services. And so the Van Buren Resiliency Group, when they approached us in 2019, we began to think about this project. And then we all know what happened in 2020 when the pandemic hit and we were required, as many others, to transform our services to provide them remotely. So home energy assistance program appointments, women, infant, and children's program appointments, workforce development touch bases were all held either over the phone or using distance technology. And we learned in that period of time, and looking at the statistics, that fewer and fewer customers missed their appointments. And so we began to survey our customers in the late 2021 to ask them, what was it that made it possible for you to be at your appointment? And one of the critical things that they told us is, I didn't have to worry about how I was going to get there. I didn't have to worry about borrowing someone's car or scheduling a ride to Presque Isle or to Fort Kent or Madawaska or to Holton, where you have an office, to be able to make my appointment time work. So what really happened in this case is that the pandemic taught us that removing barriers like transportation drastically improves access and engagement. And yet, when remote-only services were no longer permitted, we needed a new way to connect face-to-face. Our agency, as Sue Powers will tell you in just a bit, practices whole family and comprehensive services delivery. If we're conducting appointments with individuals over the phone, we're not able to assess all of what their needs might be. And unfortunately, in this day and age, we all together too often are able to help flag things like nutrition insecurity or food insecurity. We're able to sometimes, unfortunately, track when there's abuse in the household or elderly abuse when we're meeting with our customers face to face. So we really think that that is a critically important component of the work that we do, that we're able to meet with individuals and be with them and be present with them. I do want to acknowledge present here with us today our board chair, Gary Sanfason, who's standing right here in front of me. And just a couple of people down from him is another board member from ACAP, Nancy Trober. Nancy, thank you for being here as well. Board member representing Van Buren on the ACAP board. And to also acknowledge the representatives of our congressional delegation who are joining us today. Tricia House representing Senator Collins' office, and she'll be speaking here in just a moment, as well as Jordan Medor with Senator Angus King's office and Barb Hazlett with Congressman Golden's office. Thank you all three for your support, not only of this project, but of community action here in Aroostook County and all the wonderful things we're able to do as a result of the support that we receive from your three bosses in Washington, D.C. It is through congressionally directed spending, specifically Senator Collins' office, in the first year that congressionally directed spending was reintroduced. If you recall, for a period of time, what was known formally as congressional earmarks were not, for a number of years, offered. For almost a decade, those were not available. And in that very first year that they were opened up, we began to have conversations with Tricia about this project. And there wasn't a long window and a long period of time to be able to develop the proposal, but we were able to, in partnership with the Aroostook Community Collaborative and others, to put together a proposal for this mobile service unit based upon the experience that we had heard of people in communities like Van Buren needing our services, and what we had realized in those early months and first year of the pandemic, that we were in a better position if we were able to serve customers closer to where they live. Thank you to Senator Collins, and we're going to hear from Tricia and the Senator via video in just a moment. I also take great pride, and we all do at the Aroostook County Action Program and members of our congressional delegation as well, that this is truly a project that has generated economic impact here in Aroostook County. We were unable to purchase the unit here in Aroostook County, although we did work with McCluskey's to try to, but at the time that we were ordering this unit, we were in the pandemic and there were production shortages, and they just did not have a unit accessible of this nature, but we were able to buy it and to purchase it right here in the state of Maine. And from the purchase location in the Bangor area, it took its maiden voyage up to Frenchville and to Autotronics. Now, many of you may not be familiar with Autotronics, but if you are, Autotronics refurbishes a number of vehicles, but mostly ambulances up and down the East Coast, including the entire fleet of ambulances for the city of Boston. And they basically take the ambulances after they've had some wear and tear, and they refurbish them and get them back on the road. And they also equip them after they've purchased them for the first time. So Autotronics took on this project and converted an RV, a recreational vehicle, into a mobile service unit, complete with what some of you have had the opportunity to see, that provides us with office space to be able to do things like agency-wide intake for programs like the Energy Assistance Program for WIC, for our workforce development programs. In addition to that, it provides a vehicle for us to be able to take into all communities, regardless of size in Aroostook County, for our prevention team to provide educational services to the people of Aroostook County at community gatherings, festivals, and events. And so through the month of July, this mobile service unit will be making its rounds at different events in our off-season if we're doing intake. As I indicated, the mobile service unit functions as an office on wheels. It is capable of delivering a wide range of services, including energy and housing assistance, employment coaching, nutrition programs like WIC, early childhood education outreach, and more. And I would like to welcome Ginger Roberts here today and acknowledge her from the State WIC office. We're so happy to have you with us today. Thank you, Ginger. The mobile service unit marks a pivotal shift in how we meet the needs of our community. This vehicle is more than a vehicle, it's a commitment to all of the communities and people across our region, allowing us to bring comprehensive services directly to where they live. I would also like to acknowledge that once it was completed at Autotronics, this vehicle then moved to Limestone, where a Van Buren native, Joe LaPierre, who's also here with us today, who owns Boulevard Graphics, and his team did the fantastic job of creating the design for this vehicle and for ACAP's fleet of vehicles. Now, I want to acknowledge that part of the congressionally directed spending around this project was about how we get our services and programs even into people's homes. Specifically with our housing program, where we provide repairs for seniors in homes and weatherizations for families and seniors across Aroostook County, complete weatherization to people's homes. We have people from ACAP going into homes each and every day to assess the condition of the home, to do the tests. We also have our WIC team going to clinics at actual locations in Caribou, Madawaska, Fort Kent, Holton, and here in Van Buren. And they had been using their own personal vehicles. During the pandemic, we were actually losing employees. We were having employee retention issues as a result of the high cost of fuel and the wear and tear on people's vehicles. It was actually costing them money to do their job. And so, in addition to wanting to make sure that we have the mobile service unit that was able to go out to communities, we have staff each and every day that are going into people's homes. And in this day and age where there are challenges in our community, Senator Collins, our congressional delegation, have all spoken around the concerns of senior fraud. And to have someone drive up in your driveway with an unmarked vehicle is something that was of concern to a number of households that we were serving, even though they had their ACAP employee badge. So the vehicles provide another level of security for the people that we're serving across Aroostook County, in addition to providing cost efficiencies in the way that we operate our services, because the motor pool fleet is less expensive to operate than providing vehicle reimbursement that wasn't keeping up with the cost of the expenses of individual vehicles. So Joe, I did mention you, but I want to say again, thank you to you for doing such a fabulous job, not only on this vehicle, on this mobile service unit, all of our vehicles, but they did the signage for Norman L. Fournier Place as well. And the new ACAP logo and brand was designed by Boulevard Graphics. So our thanks and hats off to you, and it's great to have another Van Buren native involved in this project. Since launching that fleet of vehicles just a year ago, we've logged over 50,000 miles delivering remote services like weatherization, workforce development, and WIC nutrition services to people of Aroostook County. So at this time, or in just a moment, Sue Powers is going to share with us what we will do with the mobile service unit and how it will operate and where it will go. But I'd now like to call forward Tricia House, who will speak on behalf of the Senator, and then we'll hear from the Senator herself, who originated this project through a congressionally directed spending. Tricia?
Morning, everyone. I'm glad the rain held off for today so we could all be out here enjoying this beautiful day. I remember those initial conversations with Jason about the mobile service unit and the congressionally directed spending funding. And again, I congratulate you and appreciate your vision to deliver your services to all residents of Aroostook County, especially the most rural areas of the state. So unfortunately, with the Senator's schedule, she was not able to be here today, but we do have a video of remarks that she would have loved to have done delivered in person. She does like to come to Van Buren, and I promise I'll get her here soon. Thank you.
Go ahead and roll that.
Good morning, everyone. The launch of the ACAP mobile unit is such a great day for families and individuals throughout the county. I applaud the Aroostook County Action Program for taking its expertise and compassion on the road to remote rural communities in northern Maine. It is significant that this innovative approach to providing essential services is being celebrated at Van Buren's new high-tech Connect Center. For more than half a century, ACAP has helped connect Aroostook County residents with the healthcare, support services, and the information they need to thrive. This new Office on Wheels will bring vital programs to people regardless of where they live in Maine's largest county. I worked hard to secure $643,000 of federal funding for this project because I know how important the ACAP mission is. This investment will pay great dividends by lifting up those in need and helping to provide a brighter future for the residents of the county. Congratulations on this achievement, and I look forward to our continued work together.
So our thanks to you, Tricia, and to Senator Collins for those remarks and for your support for this project. There are so many other people to thank today and who made today possible, but specifically in the last month, members of the ACAP team have made this vehicle ready. We did receive it from Boulevard Graphics last fall, and it was just as we were getting into the inclement weather. So it's been stored at the Loring Commerce Center for the winter. But to get this ready to hit the road this year, I want to particularly acknowledge 3 members of our team, although there are so many and many that have been training on how to drive the vehicle. But Dave Ruber, our facilities manager, who's standing right there by the vehicle, led our efforts to get this underway. He worked with Paul DeShane and Karen Milton in particular, who helped to make sure that we were ready and we were operating this vehicle safely under the leadership and guidance of Sue Powers, who you'll hear from in a moment. But before I do bring up Sue, there is one other individual that we wanted to share remarks today, and that is a member of the Rural Resilience Community Alliance. She's a volunteer with that group and also an Aroostook County Action Program board member. And we're very happy to have her on our board. She brings great wisdom and insight and is always very clear in her representation of people from communities like Van Buren and rural parts of the county to ensure that we're doing our best to serve. So Nancy Troger, please come forward.
It really is an honor to be here today representing the Rural Resiliency Community Alliance, also known as the Van Buren Resiliency Project. This is a local grassroots nonprofit whose mission for the past 7 years has been to educate our community about adverse childhood experiences, often referred to as ACEs, and the potentially lifelong negative effects that they can have on both physical and mental health. For these past 7 years, we have promoted resiliency and well-being by advocating for the basic needs of our children and adults through social gatherings for seniors and after-school and summer programming for children. Analysis of community needs surveys that we conducted in 2019 and 2020 in both Van Buren and Limestone ranked the following needs as the most significant obstacles to overcoming and moving out of poverty. Number 1, more local employment opportunities. 2, access to job training and workforce development. 3, increased access to reliable transportation, both public and private, in order to access resource services and programs that are not available in our community. And not surprisingly, number 4 was reliable and affordable childcare. As Jason mentioned, we reached out to ACAP to say, could you open an office? It was the fall of 2020, and the Maine Working Communities Challenge was announced. This was a 2-stage grant process that focused on changing the way systems work to benefit Maine residents, especially residents with low incomes. The funding organizations encouraged all rural communities and cities in Maine to form collaborative teams between diverse groups of public and private partner agencies to effect positive, healthy changes in their communities while achieving a long-term vision. We decided to spread our wings a little bit and submit a letter of intent. We reached out to ACAP as an important partner in this challenge, and with the support of Van Buren as our fiscal agent, I happen to be the town manager at that time, and the support of other members from neighboring communities joining our team, we submitted a full grant in January of 2021. And as Jason said, we were fully into COVID at that point. That challenge was very, very competitive across the state, and we were not successful in securing a planning grant. But our working relationship with ACAP was now firmly established, and the seed of our shared idea was not forgotten. Thank you, ACAP, and that means everybody at ACAP, as you know, for caring about and advocating for the needs of all Aroostook County residents, but especially for listening to our stories and developing this idea into a reality. We are so grateful that the ACAP Mobile Service Unit is opening its doors for the first time right here in Van Buren today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nancy. And now to talk about the mobile service unit and how it is going to connect services with people across Aroostook County, especially in rural communities, is ACAP's Director of Strategic Initiatives and also a team member for Maine Community Action Partnership, Sue Powers.
Good morning, Van Buren. It is great to be here. And as you've heard, it is not a community that we have a presence in on a regular basis. So this mobile service unit is going to help with that. It's going to bring services from far and from many of our service areas right to Van Buren, to the residents on a regular basis. So we're thankful for that. What we learned from 2020 is that services can be offered differently. We can approach families and individuals differently. Families and individuals can access us differently. We do not necessarily need a building to reach out and to meet the needs of communities. We've been pushed to think differently over the last 5 years. And through that, we've been able to develop innovative approaches to meet the needs of our customers where they are at and what they want, and to receive services the way they want. We've been able to break down barriers to access, as you've heard Jason speak of earlier, and as Jason and Nancy have both said, transportation has been identified as one of the key barriers to people really coming into our service centers. So being able to bring services to communities is critical. We set out on a journey back about 3 years ago to really develop an approach to reach excellence in customer service. We wanted to be able to better serve our customers in the way that met their needs and in a way that felt good to them. As you can imagine, if you're living in a situation where you're worried about food, you're worried about fuel, you're worried about childcare and your employment, that it's really, really difficult if you have to also worry about getting to multiple appointments, providing multiple information over and over and over, and the same information. And it's even worse if you're walking through the same door 3 or 4 times to do that. So our innovative approach really was to work in a way that individuals and families coming to us could really feel empowered to guide their work and guide what happens to them and their families and what services they're able to access. To enhance our customer service and to really make that experience more favorable for families, we've developed a framework to assess a customer's full and complete needs as they come through the door. So this assessment will help us to understand if the family has children, if the family is looking for workforce or training, if they need fuel assistance, childcare, WIC, whatever services they need to access, we're able to make that determination as they enter. It allows us to ask questions once. So when the customer comes in, they're able to give their name, their phone number, their family members, address, date of birth. That should never have to be asked again. It may be asked to confirm, but not to actually provide the information additionally. We're able to collect documents once and upload them into a management information system where we can use those same documents across all service areas or most service areas. It really eliminates the need for people to be bringing their driver's license and their proof of income and their proof of residency multiple times. In most cases, if they can provide that on a annual basis, that will be able to be used in some way as we're determining eligibility for families across programs. We are working in what we call a whole family approach with families that have children, and we use those same core contents, component areas to work with individuals. So we're working with families in workforce and training areas, in education, helping families to build economic assets. So really working to help people to overcome transportation barriers, housing barriers, working with people to set up checking accounts and savings accounts, financial literacy. All of those areas are important to the full operation and access for families to really become self-sufficient and thrive. So we're working with people every day to overcome those barriers that they might have. We do, in this model, work in an empowerment framework, which means we really want to be able to meet customers where they're at. So we can meet them in service centers, and we have service centers in Presque Isle, Holton, Caribou. We have Caribou Early Education, and then we have Fort Ken and Madawaska offices. That doesn't always work for people if they don't live close enough to get there. So we also have expanded out to phone interviews. In some cases, some of our programs have online access, and we can support people through that. And now we have this. We have the mobile service unit. The mobile service unit will go out into communities, will bring those services, those intake services directly to people in those communities to be able to access the range of services that ACAP has to offer. We'll have intake specialists, we'll have community educators, we'll have people with specific foundations in special programs. As you walk through today, you'll see that the back office is set up as a WIC clinic. We'll be able to really bring those services directly to communities. So we will, after today, we will be over the month of May traveling the St. John Valley. We go from here to Grand Isle, to Frenchville, to St. John, and then down Route 11 and into Ashland and some of the other communities, other more remote communities. And then we'll travel south. And Jason has explained July will be prevention. A lot of the community festivals that are happening will have a presence there. And then when HEAP applications start rolling out in the first week of August, we will be in communities doing, providing HEAP services, HEAP applications, along with our comprehensive intake for all other services as well. The mobile service unit will support customer service to the very next level. We'll meet customers where they are, empowering them to make decisions about how they access supports and how they get their needs met. We will be working with communities and with individuals and families and communities to really meet emerging needs. And we thank you for being here today. We thank Senator Collins for this opportunity. And we're just really excited to get out and rolling across Aroostook County. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. Being here in Van Buren today is a great opportunity to also recognize the many wonderful things that are happening here in this community. There's a bit of a renaissance here in this community, and you're seeing it right here on this main street with the refurbishment of the historic Gaiety Theater and some great specialty shops and boutiques that we encourage you to visit here today. Well, those of you who aren't from Van Buren are in Van Buren. Part of that, though, is how the town manager, Luke Dyer, and his team, and a great number of volunteers here in Van Buren are really bringing about that positive change in this community. And one of the many ways that they're doing that is to help residents connect in many ways. And so we're pleased to be a part of that by being able to bring our services here remotely. But we're also celebrating today in partnership with the St. John Valley Chamber of Commerce, the opening of Van Buren's new Connect space, which I'm going to have Luke Dyer now come and speak about before the ribbon cutting.
You are a quiet crowd. Everybody breathe. It's so quiet. It's funny. Good morning. Thank you all for being here to celebrate this powerful milestone in Van Buren's journey. First, we're deeply grateful to ACAP for choosing Van Buren as a community to unveil this mobile service unit. This innovative outreach vehicle will bring essential resources like housing support, nutritional services, and employment assistance directly to residents throughout the county, but hopefully often in the town of Van Buren where it's very much needed. ACAP has always demonstrated a true commitment to serving rural communities with care, dignity, and equity, and we're happy to have them here with us today. And today we're proud to officially open the Connect space, a room designed not just for access, but for purpose. This is a space for learning, for sharing ideas, and collaborating with others who share similar interests. Whether you're a student attending an online class, a resident exploring new skills, or an entrepreneur meeting with a mentor, this space was built specifically with you in mind. The name Connect was chosen deliberately. It reflects exactly what we're working towards, not just in this room, but across our entire revitalization effort in Van Buren. Connection. We are reconnecting people with opportunity, neighbors with neighbors, and Van Buren with a renewed sense of place and possibility. This is more than just a transition of a room. It is a reflection of a community who has chosen to reinvest in itself. The Connect space is our first step towards realizing a full vision, which is our community connectivity hub and small incubator space that in the future will incorporate this entire space. And I can tell you it is a vision that is bold. I'd just like to thank the many partners who helped bring our Small Connect Space project to life, including our town councilors who literally rolled up their sleeves, cleaned out the old economic development office that was there, and if you'd have seen it, you'd have wondered why on earth we were even doing it. They assembled tables, we assembled chairs, and they have shown such incredible support to this project. Revitalizing a town, you can't do it without the right town council and the right volunteers, and we've been super fortunate to have them. I must also offer my heartfelt thanks to Drexel University's Interiors Community Health and Wellness Studio in Philadelphia. 20 students from their class, their architecture class, helped show us the amazing potential that this space can have and what it can have not only for our community, but our entire region. And lastly, I'd just like to thank you all for being here and thank you for believing in what's possible for Van Buren. Let's begin this new chapter and let's do it together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Luke. I believe now the representatives from the St. John Valley Chamber of Commerce are going to lead us in the ribbon cutting ceremony. Careful with that.
I don't really have a speech prepared, but thank you for your vision, Luke. You are outstanding, and the way that you lead people is incredible. And congratulations on your next building.
Thank you.
Go right ahead.
1, 2, 3. Oh my
I need to sharpen them, I'm sorry. There we go.
Right? Right when you are.
Cut.